mode.
Hi, welcome to the September Healthy Steps webinar. I'm Chris Porche and I'm the manager of the Healthy Steps Wellness Program here at Loveless. Today we're going to be talking about preconception health. And I just wanted to let you know that this topic really is very close to my heart for a number of reasons. I have a son who is a healthy, happy 25-year-old today, but he was born with a birth defect. So I have a personal mission to help you have healthy babies. I'm also on the board of directors of the March of Dimes New Mexico chapter. The March of Dimes works every day to prevent premature birth and birth defects. Their goal is for all babies to be born healthy. And I enjoy providing information like this in presentations to our members and guests. So thank you for joining us, and let's get started. Bear with me a moment. I'm waiting for my slide to change. Okay, so let's start out with some housekeeping. A couple of important things. We're going to be going for about 20 minutes. If you've got any questions, because we don't take live questions during the presentation, we would like you to please email those to us at healthysteps@loveless.com. You see the address there on the screen. We'll try to get back to you within about 48 hours. And so just also know that if there's any technical difficulties, we'll try to keep you informed as we go along. And if you get disconnected, just call back in. We will have been proceeding with the presentation, and you can jump in at any time. So here's our agenda for today. We're going to talk about the definitions of preconception health, why it's important to moms, to babies, to dads, really to all of us. And then I'll go through a list of the 10 most important things recommended by a number of organizations like the March of Dimes that can help people have healthy babies. We'll also cover some points about, are you ready to be a parent if you're thinking about getting pregnant. And then we'll briefly wrap up with some conclusions. Okay, definition, preconception health, what is it? So it's a woman's health status and habits before she even becomes pregnant. It means knowing how health conditions and risk factors can affect an unborn baby. We really do know that some foods, habits, and medicines can harm the baby. We've seen that in the past. I don't know how many of you are old enough to remember the thalidomide problem from the 50s and 60s, where women took thalidomide for, I think it was an anti-nausea drug, but before conception.
Welcome to GoToWebinar, web events made easy.
Of the mother, such as diabetes, can affect and be affected by the pregnancy. I'm going to pause just a moment because I'm having some feedback in my headphones. Just a moment. Okay, I think we've resolved that. All right, why is this important, preconception health? Well, every woman really should be thinking about her health whether or not she's planning to be pregnancy. And there's a number of reasons, because half of all pregnancies in this country are not planned. Unplanned pregnancies are at greater risk of preterm and low birth weight babies. And despite important advances in medicine and prenatal care, about 1 in 8 babies are still born too early. Again, more on why is this important. Here's some statistics about babies that are born in New Mexico. We have about 576 or so babies born each week in this state. 89 are born to teens, 81 are born too soon, 51 are born too small, and 3 babies actually die each week in this state. And these statistics come from the March of Dimes Peristats. If you wanted to look these and other statistics up, it's a great resource. So normal gestation is 40 weeks. babies born before that are preterm. They often have immediate and long-term health and developmental problems. So preterm is defined as any birth that occurs before the 37th week of pregnancy. Late preterm is a birth between 34 and 36 weeks. And very preterm is a birth at less than 32 weeks gestation. As I said, babies born too early are likely to have below desirable weight. So the average birth weight for a baby is about 7.5 pounds in this country. Low birth weight is a baby that weighs less than 2,500 grams. That's 5 pounds and 8 ounces. Very low birth weight babies are less than 1,500 grams or 3.5 pounds. 3.5 pounds is a ridiculously small baby. Those babies do not do well. Major risk factors for low birth weight include multiples, twins, triplets, etc. Being born premature, if the mother smokes, if she has inadequate maternal nutrition, and extremes of maternal age. So too young, too old. Teens have poorer birth outcomes, and women over 40 have poorer birth outcomes. So poor pregnancy outcomes, including low birth weight and preterm births and infant mortality, are associated with late or no prenatal care. Associated with unplanned pregnancy, and we've already said, half of the pregnancies in this country are unplanned. They're associated with cigarette smoking, alcohol and other use, being HIV positive, short interpregnancy spacing, that means, having your kids too close together. Having chronic diseases, if mom's obese, if mom's too young or too old, as we said, has poor nutrition, and that low socioeconomic status that's associated with so many health problems. In this country, the cost of preterm births in the United States in the year 2005 was estimated to be $26.2 billion, and that's just financial cost. Again, that figure comes from the March of Dimes. So researchers really don't have all the answers, but they're trying to find out why and how to prevent preterm birth. Most of the funding that March of Dimes receives goes toward research, with the balance of it with the rest of it going to education. Experts do agree that women need to be healthier before becoming pregnant, and that's why we're talking about preconception health today. So by taking action on health issues and risks before pregnancy, a woman can prevent problems that might affect the baby later. All right, let's go through those 10 most important things. So, all people need folic acid, but for women of childbearing age, it's of particular importance. When a woman has enough folic acid in her body before and during pregnancy, it can prevent major birth defects. So the recommendation is 400 to 800 micrograms of folic acid every day. And for those of you that don't know, folic acid is a B vitamin. It helps the body make new cells. Sometimes you'll hear the term folate. Folic acid and folate really mean the same thing. Folic acid is just the man-made form of folate. But folate's found naturally in a lot of foods, but it's hard to eat enough of those foods to get the folate you need to protect the developing baby. So some of the birth defects that are associated with not getting enough folic acid are well known. They include spina bifida. This is the situation that occurs when the unborn baby's spinal column doesn't close to protect the spinal cord. And as a result, the nerves that control leg movements and other functions just don't work. And children with spina bifida often have lifelong disabilities and may also need many, many surgeries. And I'm sure you've seen these folks in your day-to-day life. Another one is anencephaly. This really is a horrible birth defect where most or all of the brain does not develop. So these babies really don't they either aren't born live or they die very shortly after birth. And by very shortly, I mean within a few hours. I've worked in hospital settings and seen a number of these babies born, and it's really tragic. Some of the studies suggest that folic acid might also prevent other types of birth defects. Experts think that folic acid may play a role in heart health and in preventing cell damages that lead to cancer. But more research really is needed to know this for certain. Doctors recommend prenatal vitamins for women of childbearing age that contain a higher amount of folic acid than in a normal daily multivitamin. Okay, number 2. One of the most important steps that a woman can take to have a healthy pregnancy is to see her doctor, healthcare provider, before they conceive. So they'll help you become as healthy as possible before and during your pregnancy. Really, ideally, you should see the same provider who will take care of you during your pregnancy, although you can visit your regular primary care physician for care. Many women choose an OBGYN as their primary care physician when they're of childbearing age. And don't forget dental health.